Most successful landscape images start by finding a good view, but you also need to think about your composition to get an interesting photo. There are two basic skills to composition. The first is choosing how much of the view you want to include in your image. And once you've decided on your basic image, then you need to decide how to position the different elements in the scene. When it comes to deciding on your basic composition, the first rule is to try different viewpoints, rather than simply take a shot from standing up in the first place you come to. Once you've found your viewpoint, you can choose a lens that allows you to include as much or as little of the view as you want. When it comes to choosing how to position the elements in your image, there are loads of handy rules and tricks to help you out. One of the most useful of these is the rule of thirds. This is based on dividing the horizontal and vertical edges of the frame into three areas. Then, instead of placing the horizon in the middle of the image, you simply position it on one of these horizontal lines. Then position other elements such as trees, buildings, or in this case the rocky pinnacle, on one of the vertical lines. This simple trick usually creates a more dynamic and interesting composition, mainly because your eye has to move around the image to see all the elements, rather than simply looking at the centre of the image to see the focal point. As we've seen when we looked at using wide-angle lenses, these can be used to make more of objects such as rocks or foliage in the foreground. Now, using foreground interest in this way really helps add depth and interest to your landscapes. And another way to do this is to use any linear or curved lines in the foreground to lead the eye into the image. Of course, like most rules in photography, you don't always have to follow these rules of composition. A classic case in landscape photography is shooting fine art minimalist images. These can be extremely effective with the subject positioned right in the middle of the frame, particularly when the image is cropped to a square format.